Hello students, how are you all? Doing well? Myself Vishal Pandey, and today I am going to brief you more on the poem The Rain on the Roof, and it is an interesting poem I had already discussed in my previous videos. If you have not seen, just go through those videos to understand this poem in a genuine way. Today I am here to discuss with you all the different poetic devices which are used in these stanzas. As you all are aware that we have 3 stanzas basically in this poem, each stanza consisting of 8 lines, so that has to be very much clear to you. The first stanza, second stanza, and obviously the third stanza, as you can see. So we are going to discuss each stanza and the poetic devices which are used in each stanzas one by one. So first of all, I am going to take the first stanza, and with the help of that you will be able to understand the different types of poetic devices which are used in this stanza. Now if you see the first stanza, and before that let me tell you what is the rhyming scheme which is used in each one of the stanza. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. What is the rhyming scheme? I am repeating once again. A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. What it means that the second and fourth line will be repeating, and you can understand the third and sixth line is also repeating in that sense. So you have to be very much clear about the poetic devices as well. So rhyming scheme is clear: A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E, and then stanza number 1 and all its poetic devices. Let us begin with stanza number 1. Alliteration has been used in the first stanza. Alliteration is the repetition of 2 or more than 2 words in a consecutive line. So you can understand by this that the repetition of a consonant sound, don't forget to mention consonant sound. The alliteration is the consonant sound, the repetition of a consonant sound in more than 2 or more than 2 words. These words are humid howl. Humid howl has been used in the first stanza. H and H is repeating, that's why H sound is a repeating word, and it is obviously a consonant sound, so that is why it is alliteration. Now you have one more alliteration, press pillow. Press pillow is there in the first stanza, you can search it. Press pillow, P sound is a consonant sound, and alliteration takes place where a consonant word repeat 2 or more than 2 consecutive words. It is an alliteration. The repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more than 2 consecutive words is called alliteration. Then you have one more, lie listening. L sound is also repeating, so it is an alliteration. Don't forget to mention it. Then one more, we have onomatopoeia, the second poetic device. We had already discussed alliteration. Second is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a poetic device where sound occurs. So whenever you find sound, there should be and there must be a poetic device which is known as onomatopoeia. So onomatopoeia is the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. So it is the effect of sound to create a dramatic view of the poem. So as you can see, patter. Patter word means, I had already discussed this word patter. Patter means the sound of the rainfall on the roofs of the, or you can say on the roof of the poet's house. So patter sound is may be considered as onomatopoeia. Next we have personification. Personification. What is personification? In personification, a word is there known as person. So it is the you can say in personification poetic device, poet generally mention non-living things to be living things. For example, opportunity knocks at the door but once. Now opportunity is knocking at the door. Opportunity cannot knock at the door. Only human beings can knock knock at the door. So in that sense, poet is saying that if a human being is personified in non-living being, in that sense we may consider that personification has been used. Where personification has been used, that is very interesting. Darkness has been personified when he says that it is sad. So in that first stanza, if you see, darkness has been used. So in that sense, darkness is personified, because darkness cannot be sad. Human being can be sad. A human can be sad, a man or woman can be sad, melancholy, but how darkness can be sad? So in that sense, darkness is also personified. Next we have transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. So whenever you use an adjective with a noun and it asserts that the meaning of that particular noun is another noun, so there we use transferred epithet. So when you use melancholy, darkness, darkness is personification because night cannot be sad, and melancholy means sad itself. So melancholy is an adjective and darkness is melancholy, so it refers to another noun which is called as transferred epithet. So I hope you all understood the different poetic devices in first stanza. The first one was a personification, as I told you, then alliteration is there, and then we have personification, you have onomatopoeia, and then obviously you have transferred epithet. Now let us have the look on the second stanza. In second stanza you have again alliteration. Alliteration is very important poetic device because it is one of the ancient poetic device of English literature or grammar. Why I am saying this? Because alliteration was used by the old English literature writers before 11th century. So it is one of the oldest form of poetic device. Don't forget that. Keep this in your mind. Again, the repetition of a consonant sound. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound, two or more than two in a consecutive line. So you can see busy being. Busy being, BB stands for consonant sound, and it is alliteration. Then again you have their thread, T and T. TH sound is also repeating, which means a consonant sound, then it is alliteration. And then rain, roof, R sound is also a consonant sound, that is why it is an alliteration. So don't forget to mention alliteration. Then again you have onomatopoeia in second stanza. Onomatopoeia in the sense the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect. Once again, what is onomatopoeia? It is the use of sound to create dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Tinkle, pattle sounds. Tinkle is also part of a sound, and pattle is also a form of sound. The rain is falling on the roof, by that sound occurs, and that sound can be considered under onomatopoeia poetic device. I hope you all understanding. Then you have personification once again. Where is personification is used? Treating a non-living thing as a living being. Personification is what? Treating a non-living thing into a living thing. Recollection is personified when he says that they view dreams. According to poet, recollection of thousands dreams are shown in the poem by weaving. So who can weave? Women. Man can weave a sweater, a scarf, etc. and etc. but not the thoughts can weave. So human being can weave by the help of recollection of dreams, and using this weave dreams, poet is just expressing his views on personification. So personification is the treatment of a non-living being into a living being. So who can weave a sweater, a scarf, etc.? Only a human being can weave that, not ideas, not thought. So in that line, personification has been used. Again you have transferred epithet. Same poetic devices are repeating, which were there in first stanzas. It is only repeating in the repetition is there in the second stanza as well. Transferred epithet is also there in that stanza. Transferred epithet was in melancholy darkness. But in this stanza, as you can see, the use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. Again, the definition is same. Transferred epithet means what? The use of an adjective to represent a noun which represents generally another noun. Dreamy fancies. Now, what is dreamy fancies? It does not mean that the fancies are dreamy, but refers to the people who have dreams. In the poem, in the second stanza, if you see clearly, there is written dreamy fancies. Now, fancies cannot dream, only the human being can dream. That is why it is transferred epithet. Now, let us move towards the third stanza. Again, you have alliteration, again, you have onomatopoeia in this stanza. Alliteration is memory, my mother. Now, this memory, my mother stands for M sound, and M sound is repeating. That is why it is alliteration, because alliteration is the repetition of two or more than two consecutive consonant sound. So don't forget to mention that. Darling dreamers is also alliteration in darling dreamers. Why? Because D sound is repeating again and again. D sound is repeating. That is why it is a consonant sound, and hopefully it is an alliteration. Now let us see onomatopoeia. As I told you, it is the use of a sound to make a dramatic change or dramatic effect in the poem. Let us see. Patter, again is patter has been used in the poem in the third stanza as well. So I have explained all the different poetic devices which are there used in this poem. Let me sum up the poetic devices once again on this stanza. As I told you, the rhyming scheme of the poem, you can just go back and understand the rhyming scheme, how it has been used. If you talk about the first stanza, second stanza, and this is the third stanza, then you can understand that how poetic devices have been used. So this is the second line where starry spheres have been used, and SS stands for alliteration. Then melancholy darkness, as I told you, melancholy darkness, transferred epithet. Then you have many more. Press pillow stands for alliteration. Here it has been written. Lie listening is also alliteration, as I told you earlier. Then you have one more word which shows you the exact identification of personification, which is darkness. Sad, melancholy darkness means sad darkness. Darkness cannot be sad. It is only a human being who can be sad. Every tinkle on the shingle, tinkle is onomatopoeia, has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies. Dreamy fancies is transferred epithet, because fancies cannot dream, only the human beings are there to dream. Into busy being is use of alliteration, B sound is repeating. And 1,000 recollections weave their air thread into woof. Weave their air thread. Dreams cannot weave, only human being can weave. It is personified, so it is personification. Patter sound is the onomatopoeia again. And then you have the third stanza. Now in memory comes my mother. M, alliteration. As she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers, D sound is repeating. It means it is the sound of alliteration. When two or more than two consonant sound repeat in a single line, then alliteration takes place. So don't forget to mention that. She left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, as list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Patter is again onomatopoeia used in this stanza as well. So I hope you understood this poem along with poetic devices. In the next presentation, I am going to discuss with you all the questions, important questions and its answers as well. Thank you so much for watching me.